Hi, my name is Autumn Payne. I'm a visual journalist, and we're here again with Stephen Bryant Walker. He's a therapist at Middleway Health, and he's also a Buddhist teacher. And joining me again to talk about mental health issues. If anybody has any thing that they want to ask, they can ask it in the chat. And so, welcome. Thanks for joining
Thanks.
us again. Yeah.
Thanks.
So today we wanted to talk a little bit about some of the community programs that you're running for mental health. You know, a lot of people will talk about a problem in the community, but you're one of those people that really puts action behind your words. And so I wanted to talk about those things that you're doing to assist our community in the areas of mental health. And there's two programs we're going to talk about.
Mhm.
Is there one you want to talk about first?
Well, I'd like to talk about Middleway Health Foundation. It's
Mhm.
a separate nonprofit from my private practice clinic. And the foundation is designed to offer free psychotherapy and free social work to people. And the therapists here offer it. So the foundation is trying to fill a gap that really hasn't existed, that hasn't been filled in the community adequately. There are a lot of programs that are group oriented or social work oriented, but I, I wanted to create a place where people could just talk and have regular psychotherapy for free. So that's what we fundamentally do. And we do consulting to families and groups. And we also are involved now in something called Expressions, which is an artistic program that takes place actually this Friday night at my yoga center, Lions Roar Dharma Center. It's a Buddhist yoga center, and um, it's going to be a fundraiser for the foundation.
Oh,
So
it's a fundraiser
it is a
for the
fundraiser, actually.
not aware of that. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
very cool.
So
So
musicians are coming, and poets, and visual artists, and eventually dancers also, uh,
mm,
with the goal that mental health isn't just about surviving or being resilient, but it's also celebrating life, and that art saves lives. So in the past, the
I love that.
foundation, the foundation's participated in like the Labor Day event called Chalk It Up, and has held a couple of fundraisers here at the Middleway Health Building, and artists have donated their work, and people have bought. So that's kept the foundation going. The foundation rents a couple of offices here in the Middleway Health Building, and uh, it takes money to keep a few things going administratively, but we have extremely low overhead because we don't pay the therapists full price. Sometimes, most of the time, the therapists are donating their time too.
Wow. So I just want to repeat that because it's never I haven't heard of this before.
Yeah.
This is free therapy. We're not selling something here. This is
Yeah.
free therapy for those that cannot afford it. That's remarkable. Yeah.
Yeah.
And low, like the other thing that's really interesting is you make it very easy for people to access this free care. Like
Yes.
there's not this long drawn out process to like insurance and filling out loads of paperwork, and it's low barrier of entry into free therapy.
Yes.
That's amazing.
It is amazing, and that's probably why not very many people are doing it. All
Yeah.
our support has been privately. We may be able to get a grant, but generally I've found that the grants for mental health are still very social worker, social program oriented. Like they want to know that you're feeding people, or that you're getting people off the street, or you're helping them with housing or domestic violence issues, all of which are important. But rarely do these programs offer the ability just to have someone. Uh,
Um, Sorry, somehow you got muted there. Hold on. Uh-oh, we lost you. Um, Hold on. I'm gonna go check and see what just happened. I don't know if his
Connection.
he lost connection.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see if we can get him back on here.
Yes. Yeah. Good luck.
Hey, Patty, why don't you sit down and talk about the foundation?
Hi. Oh, here he's back. That's wonderful. Okay. So Autumn will be back shortly. She's just running in to try to help you regain connection, and right away there you are. So it's kind of magical.
Magical.
Yes.
Magical technology.
Yes.
So the other thing I wanted to ask you is, because this is a big issue with mental health when people need help. If they're like 5150 or like in danger of harming themselves or others, they can get immediate treatment, but otherwise it's waiting 6-8 weeks for an appointment. How long might it take, at Middleway Health Foundation to get an appointment?
I can't guarantee things, but if there's time open in the therapist schedules, then a lot of times we've been able to see, people within the week. So,
That's huge.
yeah, it is. We want to get people that, are in crisis, but not in desperate crisis. So you know, kind of they're still able to benefit from inside-oriented psychotherapy and able to access resources because we do social work too. But we're not able to support completely homeless people at this point. So we don't have a homeless program per se, but if someone's able to come in and talk with us and get here, we'll meet with them.
But I would say that getting proper mental health services earlier can prevent a lot of these, this downhill slide that can get people into the more crisis situations, which is
Yeah, that's the idea.
that gap that we're talking about.
That's right.
Addressing it. Yeah. So if anyone here in Sacramento knows somebody who needs services and is having a hard time accessing them, then middlewayhealthfoundation.org is a website where you can easily reach out. And of course, if you want to support mental health in your community, you could support the foundation as well. So it's a really unique program. But interestingly enough, Expressions, the art program, is not just a fundraiser for Middleway Health. It's actually kind of integral to the whole mission of Middleway Health Foundation and Middleway Health. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm glad you understand that because as a visual journalist, you get the idea that helping people also means you're bringing out their aliveness and you're getting them to tell their story and getting them to express themselves because that's really in a way what psychotherapy is giving people permission to express themselves in a structured and caring way. So the expressions piece is both celebrating our lives but also giving people an opportunity to say who they are, and that is an essential part of mental health because when people really fall in the cracks, they fall in anonymously.
What? Wait. Can you repeat that?
When people fall between the cracks or fall down, they fall anonymously.
What do you mean by that? What does that
Like
mean?
they don't. They generally no one knows. You see, they're not able to, talk about what they're going through. They've disappeared. They've become invisible.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and then it kind of appears later as kind of a crisis. See that the news is always around crisis, a shooting or homeless thing, but there's a period where people were functional usually or part of their family, and then they kind of went invisible for a bunch of reasons.
Mhm.
And during that period, they were invisible.
Mhm.
And, you know, we've all felt invisible from time to time where no one got us or no one listened to us and people didn't know what was going on with us and we didn't know how to tell people what was going on with us. So the idea with the artistic expression is um, it gives people a way to talk about and express who they are and what's going on. Because the poets that have been there are pretty gritty, and so is, you know, in a good way, and the artwork and the music, right? So you get to know people, and they're not anonymous anymore.
Mhm. Yeah, so I want to just paint a picture here. This is at Lions Roar Dharma Center, beautiful setting with a nice outdoor area. You can go in and you can hear the musicians, Clamone, you can hear the poetry, you can go inside and outside. It's just a really great environment for a couple hours. And again, it is free to come. Of course, donations are always
Yeah,
wonderful, but this is really for the community. People can just come and express themselves. But then there's a flip side of art too, right? It's the expression of the artist, but then the people who are listening to the music or viewing the art, they can also find healing in that as well. I hear that over and over again that music is so healing.
yes, and the neat thing about the shows is uh, fellow artists and poets and musicians are supporting and commenting on each other. So something like give a song or a poem, and people will say, "Well, what do you mean by that? How'd you feel when you did it? How'd you compose that?" So there's a real dialogue. It's not just performance, as it's trying to create this artistic healing community, actually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why I like to say art saves lives. But it saves lives because people share it and talk about it and are personally related to it. Just like, you know, video journalists save lives,
Yeah.
right?
I hope so. We try every day. All the various methods of art, um, big believer in that, of course, and communications. I mean, to me, art actually is it's
Yes.
communication and sharing feelings, putting something into a visual or a sound that maybe language doesn't express. Um, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. It's really cool.
And in a certain way that can be taken in because uh, the artistic piece means that you are presenting it in a certain structure, in a certain medium that allows the other person to make contact with it.
Mhm.
And that goes for therapy too. That's how uh, how we present ourselves, how we get listened to, in a way has to be trained. Because a lot of times people don't know how to be listened to or how to present themselves. So, uh, the training piece, uh, artistic training helps us present who we are, so we're not anonymous
Mhm.
or forgotten
Interesting.
or
Yeah.
overlooked
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So
That's
there's a
why.
mission there, so people can contact me at Middleway Health and say what if they're interested in more, and then we'll have some stuff on Facebook about what we're doing.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, it's wonderful.
yeah,
Really wonderful programs. The community is, yeah. And I like that it's kind of two sides of the same coin as far as mental health is concerned. With therapy, a lot of times you have to deal with those really hard, difficult subjects and really work with those difficult things. But you're also bringing in, the opposite side, which is the joy and like inviting people into the joy
that's
too.
right.
So that's lovely. So thank you.
Um, yeah, you're welcome. Well, maybe I'll see you there.
Yeah, I hope so. But we're right up on our time limit, so I'll say goodbye and thank you
Okay.
so
All
much,
right.
and I'll see you next time.
Okay.
Okay,
Ciao.
bye.